So you're telling me there was actually two different type of villain groups all in all? I don't exactly know what to think of that. Well, it turns out that the reason that Overhaul is here is actually not to join the alliance. Actually, it's the opposite. He wants to let the villain alliance join him because apparently he is an underground gangster who was known who have been in the underground for a very long time, but when All Might became more powerful, they went down under. And the only reason why he's showing himself is not because All Might retired, it's actually because One for All disappeared. He called him a king, and now that the kingpin is gone, he decides to take the throne, which of course Tomara doesn't like because he is bred to be the new kingpin and said he has gathered influence. But then Overhaul just says that he doesn't. Do you even have a plan? Many of the other villains actually have said that you childish temper tantrum, but All for One has been very confident that Tomorrow would grow, and even the police says every time he gets away he gets smarter. But Overhaul says he has lost every single one of them. So he says that become my underlings because I have a plan and I have a goal. So I will become the next kingpin. Of course, Tomara doesn't like that, so Magna decides to as well. After a flashback apparently about his past. What is that? Was he some kind of drag queen once upon a time? He tries to shut him up, but then Overhaul just shows his quirk and seemingly, well, not seemingly, and kills Magne. So, and it turns out that Overhaul somehow has a quirk that allows him to degenerate things although a bit differently, and he doesn't like to be touched. Do not exactly know what kind of quirk that is. And his gang managed to stop from the Tomara killing him. Gotta say though, a lot of Overhaul's gangs have weird plague-like masks. They almost look similar to the Nitro from Toriko. All in all, they decides to call it off because everything else. So they decides not to join forces yet. So and he doesn't want to fight because but then both them could die, and Tomara is intelligent enough to let him go. Instead, he leaves them the call and says, "Call me when you regain your composure." I gotta say, this Overhaul character is kind of arrogant. Don't get me wrong, I don't like Tomara, but I gotta say, it's kind of arrogant to actually believe he can outsmart Tomara just like that. I mean, Tomura has been raised by the Kingpin himself. I highly doubt Tomura do not have a plan. All in all, it ends with Deku and the streaking guy talking to All Might. All in all, I think it's gonna be about his former sidekick. So that's basically the chapter. We just see that there's not just Hero's side that is a bit switching, but also because, there are many villains that have mixed opinion. So this is basically this chapter. Do not know what to say about it, but I have a very foreboding sense. So give me your thoughts if you have any.